Hello, I'm Bernard Hickey from interest.co.nz and welcome to a special housing report brought to you in association with Bank of New Zealand. Today we look at figures from Barfoot and Thompson on house sales and house prices in August. Now normally we wouldn't care too much about what one real estate agency group says, but these ones are interesting because Barfoot and Thompson is big and because Auckland is big and because they're the first. Auckland makes up about a third of the real estate market in New Zealand by sales. And Barfoot and Thompson has about 43% of the Auckland market. So overall, Barfoot and Thompson represents about 14% of New Zealand real estate sales, or it did in July. And its figures for August show the market continues to be weak, and in Auckland as well. Some people were hoping or thinking that Auckland would be doing better than the rest of the country, but it's clear from these figures from Barfoot and Thompson that it's not quite so rosy out there. It reports that there were 637 properties sold through its offices in August. Now that's down from 644 in July, and it's down about 23% from a year ago. It's also the weakest in 6 months. The average sale price is also down about 4.4% in August from July, at around about $511,000 an average price versus $532,000 a year ago. Now Barfoot says the economy is weak. It also suggested that the demise of South Canterbury Finance may have had an impact. Now it's interesting to look at what's happening in the lending into the housing market at the moment. Certainly they are weak. People aren't so keen to get into the housing market. They're a little bit worried about prices dropping, and the banks are being cautious too. They're not finding it so easy to get cheap, plenty of funding from the rest of the world. Now some people were saying that we may have a two-tiered market, particularly around Auckland and central Auckland. There have been some reports in recent weeks that sales have been going through at government valuation, or even slightly higher than government valuation, that sales have picked up a bit, particularly around central Auckland. There certainly is a lack of supply in some parts of the market, in part because of the leaky building issue in Auckland, significant demand from Chinese investors, and there seems to be some movement into central Auckland. But from these Barfoot and Thompson figures, it shows that there isn't that much activity in the market at the moment. Obviously August, very early in spring, and it's certainly not been a very sunny spring, plenty of rain about, at least there has been in Auckland, which may be a factor, but we'll be watching closely through September and October. Remember, the numbers for the rest of the market come out next Thursday. We see the first figures from quotable value for the whole country, and then Real Estate Institute of New Zealand with the entire market figures the following Tuesday after that. And 2 days after that, we have the Reserve Bank with its official cash rate move on September the 16th. I'm Bernard Hickey. That was a housing report brought to you in association with Bank of New Zealand.